Update. I was previously married for about 8 years. While we were married, my parents seems to never like my spouse. And more than once, I had to ask them to stop saying unkind things to her. They kept pushing us to have kids, but we never did. Eventually, we had some marital issues. And to be clear, I am not blaming her for these issues. It was both of us. And we're on a trial separation while in counseling. And at the time, the agreement was that we were not seeing other people. However, suddenly my spouse was pregnant. And it was not possible that it was mine, as the last time we've been intimate was 2 months prior to her conception date. That was the end of the marriage, and I filed for divorce 2 days after I found out. My parents, however, knowing fully that it was not my child and that the conception was my spouse cheating on me, then chose to support my ex through her pregnancy. They chose to play grandparents to my ex's kid. And when I told them it was an issue for me that they were so involved in her life still, their solution was to lie, poorly, and now just not talk about it. I found out secondhand that not only did they go to her wedding, to the guy she cheated with, but that my father gave her away at the wedding. They now also play grandparent to her 2 additional kids with a new hubby. They go on vacations with her and her family. This has been going on for 10 years and I feel like I lost my parents in my divorce. I can't talk to my parents because they will just lie to me like they do about seeing my ex. I found out, again secondhand, that my ex and her family are staying with my parents and are there with them today for Christmas, which explains why I wasn't invited when all my siblings were. My parents have said that they feel like I'm being ridiculous, and that is their Christian duty to look out for my child even if I feel like abandoning the kid is okay, which they say is mine because we were married when she got pregnant. They blame me for the family never being able to be together since I won't attend family events that she's going to, which more and more is all of them. Everyone in my family has pretty much treated me as persona non grata for abandoning the family. Am I the a-hole here? Am I the one destroying the family? Should I just play uncle to my ex's kids that I want nothing to do with? Now for the top comments before reading the update. Not the a-hole. This is disgusting. Remind them that she broke the marriage covenant, but also a commandment. Time to write the whole lot of them off. If having grandchildren is more important than their actual child, don't give them the choice. It's good to hear that I'm not as irrational as they make me feel about the whole thing. Their response during the divorce about her breaking the marriage covenant is that I needed to really think about forgiveness and maybe learn to turn the other cheek. Are you even on a birth certificate, Opie? Is there any doubt anywhere that they could be using to delude themselves about paternity? It's crap that they picked her over you in the divorce. Cut them out. No, the birth certificate is accurate for both the child's parents, neither of which is me. Not the a-hole. Your parents are bizarre and toxic. It's relieving to hear that I'm not the one being bizarre and toxic. I mean, like, really relieving. Thank you. You are definitely not the a-hole. Reading about your dad walking her down the aisle and you not being invited to Christmas literally made my jaw drop. They sound seriously awful. One thing I'm not clear on, not that it changes my verdict nor excuses their behavior. Do your parents truly believe the baby's yours? If so, does your ex refuse to clarify? Just curious at the depths of crazy going on with them. They 100% know the kid is not mine. My exes never even tried to say they were. Since the day I confronted her knowing she was pregnant, she has been clear and honest about the kid's genetics. And now for the update. Last year for Christmas, my parents invited my 4 adult siblings and their families and my ex and her new family to Christmas at their house. Since I had made it clear I don't want to spend time with my ex and her new family, I was seen as causing a problem, so they just didn't tell me about it. One of my siblings let it slip accidentally on Christmas Eve that they were all there without me, making it clear everyone felt it was my fault I could be invited. It was deviating to feel like I was being excluded from my own family yet again, to be lied to yet again. Much to my shock, on the original post I was judged not the a-hole, and it made me see much of my entire life's interactions with my family differently. Follow-up. 1. As suggested, I started going low contact. Essentially, I just stopped trying to maintain the contact with them and let them do all the work there, which they haven't. So low contact has been in essence no contact, which has both sucked and been healthier for me. I don't even know what they are doing for Christmas this year, which is actually easier than knowing they are doing something and choosing to exclude me. 2. I did print out some of the posts from last year and show them to my therapist as suggested. He berated me for listening to people on the internet and cutting off a vital part of my support system. After 2 months of weekly appointments listening to him talk about ways to fix the relationship and apologize to my family and make amends with them. I just stopped making appointments with them. That was in March. 3. After stopping contact with my family and therapist, I found I had a really hard time even being around my friends. Super anxious and second-guessing every interaction. So I've kind of stopped seeing them either. I had a good work-from-home job, so I just started working all the time. It was good for my career, and I got a major promotion in quarter 3. It was a large enough promo that I don't stress about money anymore, which was a constant stress before. So spending my energy somewhere other than my own family has been life-changing. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. Super proud for choosing to put yourself first. Your family are really a bunch of narcissistic a-holes. Second, what the hell is wrong with your therapist? That is some first-grade BS that he has been telling you. A good therapist should and would never tell you to apologize. Some people need their license revoked. He should have recommended going no contact a long time ago. I can only applaud you for not going to them anymore. But please find a new and good therapist or a support group to help you. Try talking to your friends, but only if they support you going no contact with family and therapist. That should be a good indicator if they are good friends. Good friends will support you no matter what. Please take care of yourself. You are worth it. And to hell with your parents and family for putting you through this. Even your ex, she should be ashamed of herself. Again, please take care of yourself. Hope the new year will bring you joy, strength, and happiness. I'm just not sure how to talk to a therapist, and probably how to talk to my friends because it's just hard for me to know what to say. I feel like talking about any of this is just a quick way to end a relationship. Like they have normal families and just can't understand what I'm saying, and it just makes me look like an a-hole. So I just don't know what to say, and I'm always anxious about saying anything. I do feel like not talking to my family has changed my life a lot for the better, even if it is lonelier. OP, your therapist was terrible and not deserving of the title. Please don't let it sour your views on therapy in general. It can truly be life-changing, and I hope you give it another chance. You'll know you've found a right one when you leave the appointment feeling better, not worse. I'm not sure how to find that. The thought of calling around and finding someone and dealing with waiting lists and people not taking new patients, I just feel like it would be a waste to do that again. It took months the last time. Good for you for prioritizing yourself and getting ahead in your career. But now is the time to balance your life again. Reach out to your friends with just a, "Hey, sorry for going silent, but I was dealing with some pretty consuming things." Find a new therapist who can just let you talk through your issues and not tell you what to do. You need to find a healthy perspective on your life before you start being able to live it. Quite frankly, your life seems lonely and one-sided. You work from home, have limited contact with friends and colleagues, and no contact with family. I am some random stranger on the internet, and if you are happy being alone, live your life in happiness and at peace. But make sure that is what you really want, or are you too hurt to try for human interaction again? Either way, I wish you well. I feel like I've written and deleted that text to friends so many times. I just don't feel like I would know what to say to them. I don't feel like any interaction with them would be good, productive, worth it. I don't know. I guess I just don't feel like they will understand or care. And why should they? So I don't feel like it's even worth trying. I'm not sure being alone is what I would choose, but I also don't feel like I know how to let anyone in anymore. I guess the reality is, once you understand just how much even your parents and siblings see you as disposable, it's really hard to be open to being thrown away again, especially by people you think are friends. So I deleted a text and keep them as friends. Next story. Am I the a-hole for telling the mother of my child's brother that he can't be on my son's life? I'm 25 and I was going to get married to my boyfriend Matthias, 26, in July. We were really excited to get married, but he died in a car crash. I was destroyed. My ex-best friend Christy was there for me. She always brought me food when I needed it and took care of everything in my house. The thing is, Christy is pregnant. I asked her lots of times who was the father, but she always said she didn't know. Then 6 weeks ago, Christy came to watch movies and eat dinner with me, and I asked her if she was going to do a DNA test to at least know who the father is. She suddenly started crying and said that she knew who the father was. It was Matthias. I went pale. I didn't say a word. She tried to hug me, but I pushed her away from me and told her to never talk to me again and blocked her everywhere. Then 2 weeks ago, I went to the doctor and found out that I was pregnant too. I made a post on my Twitter telling that I was pregnant. Somehow, Christy found this and sent me an email telling me that I should present my son or daughter to her son when they are born because they are siblings. I said no, I don't want my son or daughter to have any contact with theirs. She said that I was mean and an a-hole for this because the kids need to know each other, because they're family. I told this to some of my friends and they have really divided opinions. Am I the a-hole? Edit. Matthias died in October 2022 and we were going to get married in July 2023. Now I am 16 weeks pregnant. When I found out I was pregnant on January 8, I was 14 weeks. Now for the comments. Not the a-hole. You have nothing to do with that woman. If Matthias was alive, maybe. But you don't have any obligation to initiate a relationship with this affair child. You can leave that choice to your kid when they grow up. Thanks for your opinion. OP, no judgment for me. I would just point out that realistically, you might not have much control in if/how/when your kid knows about Christy's kid. That is, I imagine that you will allow some relationship of your kid with the paternal family, and that the paternal family will also accept Christy's kid if proven to be related to them. Thus, the paternal family will have open relationships with both kids. Even if you not allow them to meet, they will most likely be aware of each other from the start. Unless, of course, you do not want to allow a relationship with the paternal family or they do not want a relationship with one of the kids. Not the a-hole. I think it's a very hurtful situation that you're in, and right now you're making decisions based on emotions. In the future, if you want to possibly have your child have a relationship with her kid, I'd ask for a DNA test. Because what if she's fibbing about who the father is? Because Matthias is dead and can't dispute it. If she doesn't want a DNA test, then no relationship. As you don't want your child to have a sibling relationship with someone who may not really be related to them. Good luck. Thanks. Yes, it really is something very painful for me. And yes, my mind is very clouded by the pain that this has put me through. Without a doubt, I will ask him for a DNA test to prove that Matthias is the father of her son. But it seems to me that she is telling the truth. I don't know why Christy would do that to me. Either way, she is not a very good friend to you. If she fibbed, maybe because she really doesn't know the father and just wants to give her child a name and family. If she's not fibbing, then your boyfriend cheated on you with your friend. A friend who knew you were together and you loved him. Not a good friend to you. I know. There is no way I will speak to her again. I might reconsider letting the kids meet, but that's about it. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my half-sister to stop thinking of us as sisters? I, 15 female, technically have a half-sister Jane. 16 years ago, my mom had an affair with Jane's dad and I'm the result of that. However, I have been raised by my mom's husband and he has always considered me his daughter, and I will always consider him my dad. Jane's parents were engaged and didn't get married because of the affair, and her mom moved to another city before she was even born. So, when my parents told me the truth, I did learn about Jane as well, but I don't really care. Jane moved in with her dad over winter break and got registered at my school. She's in grade 9, I'm in grade 10. Since she learned who I am, she just won't leave me alone. She's kept asking me to come over, telling me how our dad won't stop talking about me, how we can do all the stuff sisters do, and so much other crap. I've let her down gently each time. Yesterday, her dad sent her cousin to pick her up for a dentist appointment and he sent him in a Porsche. She asked me to come with her because it'll be nice having my sister there with me. I don't want people knowing she's my sister though, so I got really mad and told her to screw off and stop thinking of us as that. Of course, she cried and now I'm suspended and writing this from home. Was I an a-hole to her? No a-holes here. You're both young and in a very complicated situation. I can totally understand why you wouldn't feel the need to know someone that you don't feel any connection to. It's different than growing up in a house with a sibling. On the other hand, I don't blame Jane for wanting a relationship with you. The poor girl's mom was cheated on by your shared biological father. I can understand why she would try to see the little bit of positive that at least she gets a sister out of it. Have you talked to your mom and dad about it? I definitely don't think you have to have a relationship with anyone you don't want to. But maybe they can help you find a kinder way to explain it to Jane and close the book on that issue. The issue is that Opie doesn't just want to decline a relationship with Jane. She wants to tell everyone that Jane is lying about them being related. Jane is allowed to tell the truth about who her family is, including the fact that she has a half-sister. If Opie is embarrassed by the situation, she should take it up with her mom. Yeah, I have. My mom doesn't want me to have anything to do with her dad and doesn't want it exposed that she cheated. My dad just said he trusts me to do what's right. It's not fair your mom doesn't want you to have anything to do with your bio dad. That's wrong of her to say. All the adults have handled this badly. You are a child. The last thing you should be worried about is your mom or dad being humiliated for their own actions. They all had to have known this would come up sooner or later. And instead of being the adults and making the best out of the situation they literally created, they are making the situation worse. I would suggest therapy. You seem very angry and aggressive in your comments. I feel very badly for both you and Jane. She doesn't and did deserve the way you were handling this. I think you were very rude and cruel to your sister instead of directing that anger towards mom and dad. Feels a little like beating up on a person weaker than you, instead of the people you were actually angry with. You are very young. Go to therapy and stop worrying about the adults. Let them handle that. She doesn't want me to have anything to do with him, but she's never tried to stop him from having anything to do with me. I see him every now and then, and she never tries to stop him from seeing me. He never fought for custody of me. He thinks that coming around once a year or once every 2 years with fancy gifts and promises and stuff gives him a right to me. It doesn't.